Tonight's show is dedicated to the memory of Graham's ego that died yesterday. This is Booze at 10 with Graham Whistler.
How cheeky was that? I did not see that coming. Hello and welcome to another episode of Booze at 10 with me, Graham Whistler. This is the topical-ish pound show where myself and a panel of comedians take the topical out of the news and just sit and have a little drink instead. However, much like the news, we do still have the bongs. It's still here. It's made it for season 2. We're going to keep it. As yet, we still haven't had anyone on the show turn up stoned, but it's my birthday in about 11 days, so we'll see what happens. Cool. So, as always, please do feel free to get involved in the comments. We are streaming live to Facebook and YouTube through the G Whistler Comedy channel and the Provocateur Comedy channel. So, yeah, please feel free to get involved. And if you would like to support the show, please feel free to donate to the PayPal link. There it is, paypal.me/G Whistler Comedy. However, if you would like to support the show, and you don't want to pay any money, which, you know, who would, you can like and subscribe to the YouTube channels, and that will really help as well. Or you can donate via the QR code in the corner there. As always, our esteemed producer, Mr. Alex Dean, will be popping up to show us some of your comments and just having a little chat in general. And I think I'm gonna have to have some words with him right now. Actually, we cross live now to the traitor, aka Mr. Alex Dean. So obviously, I know why you've done this. Some people watching might not have known well why.
Yes. You had a streaming pre-record malfunction yesterday, and I think you now appreciate the job I do a whole lot more.
I mean, you know, well done. You can click a button. Some
of us can't.
Yeah, all right. I'll explain what's happened. So I came up with an idea for another show, just away from this one, sort of specific to what I'm into. So, thank you to COVID-19. Thanks to that and the pandemic, stuff like that. Obviously, we've not been gigging at all. So I've been playing a lot of Football Manager because I have no life. And I decided, well, you know, wouldn't it be interesting to see how does the game stack up against real life? Can the game predict a whole season accurately, for example? And I messaged a couple of people, got the word round. I was like, yeah, that's really interesting. I'd like to get involved. A friend of mine, Harry Brown, is into his football as well, plays a lot of Football Manager. Perfect. And we had Carl Filer on as well, who before the pandemic was running Carl's Comedy Club, one of my favourite comedy clubs in Bournemouth. He's a Saints fan, just a bit of dynamic there. Thought that would be good. And you know what? It worked. It worked really well.
You put a lot of 7 hours solid work.
Prep I put into this in terms of stats and research and all this sort of stuff, comparing the game to real life, and we ran simulations and all this sort of stuff. And we started recording at 7:30, finished just after 9 o'clock, an hour and a half worth of recording. I then clicked what I thought was stop record. At that point, the video started recording. So we had nothing.
And this happened. This is what you recorded.
That's why there wasn't a timer in the corner telling me.
We've just done that for an hour and a half. We've not pressed record.
We've just done an hour and a half.
I'll stop that before the abuse starts, because it was just another 5 minutes of them calling you a twat.
Yeah. Thank you for showing some mercy there. You're a better man than I, because if it was the other way around, you'd be getting I wouldn't have been as nice about it. I'll just put it that way.
You would have just called me up every 5 minutes. Carl, that you just saw in the clip, is watching. To be fair, a lot of last night couldn't have been aired, so probably a blessing, says Carl.
There you go. Okay.
Also watching is Adam Money saying whoop whoop. Go on, Graham.
Thank you, Adam. I appreciate
nice.
that. You know, I'm looking forward to tonight. I'll just explain. As I've tried to do for this series, as opposed to last series where it was a bit what did you call it? Freewheeling?
Freewheeling is the nicest way we can put it. Yeah.
So I've decided, and I think what worked quite well, is just to have one singular topic to talk about each week. And today, or yesterday, I discovered a news article actually from last October, but they've done some updates recently in January for it. Nokia have agreed a contract with NASA to build and implement a 4G network on the moon. Actual thing, go and Google it. It's mental. So we're going to be talking about that, and I'm very excited to have the guests on. So please,
I'll be popping back with comments. Mark Dean Quinn as Graham Whistler press record. You're a bit behind there, Mark. We've covered that at length.
There's going to be a lot of this, isn't there?
There is. I'm going to vamoose. I'll pop back with comments later. But now you're going to bring the guest.
Yes. Right. There we go. Let's crack on. So Nokia and NASA building a 4G network on the moon. We're going to be talking about that tonight. Please welcome Nick Page and Sandy Smith.
Hey Graham.
How is it? How are we doing? Are we good? Oh, cheers. Yes. Cheers. Cheers. Good. Lovely to see you both as well. Thank you very much for being on. How are you doing?
Muddling through.
Yeah. That's pretty much it.
As all of us are. It's just like waiting for this to, like, obviously annoyed by the pandemic, annoyed by the lockdown, annoyed by people saying, well, Boris is doing the best he can.
Yeah, I don't think that's true.
Who was saying that?
Yeah.
Oh, fucking loads of people.
Oh, God.
Like,
Twitter bots.
they would, if there was an election tomorrow, they'd still bloody win.
Yeah, he would. You're right. I fear that. I think we're like in a little tiny corner, a little safe space where we think people are sensible. It doesn't happen, does it? It keeps getting in.
I think that's why I've tried to pick certain topics that I found funny in the news. Last week, with it
otherwise the rage boils over and all we do is rant.
I'm angry already. I'm angry.
This is actually my fifth can already, but that was mainly because of yesterday, and I was stressed out about it. But anyway, but that's part of the reason why I found this story, and I'm quite happy about it, because last week's episode was all about the presidential inauguration. That was very intense, and there was a lot involved in that. So I thought we would just go for something a little bit ridiculous and a bit light-hearted.
I mean, that effectively makes me even more annoyed, given that they won't sort out the 4G in my village.
Yeah.
I did think that. I thought they can't get it right on Earth. How on Earth? See what I did there?
Yeah.
How are they going to sort it out on the... Yeah, it was shit, wasn't it? How are they going to sort it out on the moon?
Trying to do a landline from the moon would be even more awkward.
I'm waiting for the day where there's some kind of, those like radio texting competitions where it could be like winning some cash or winning a trip or something like that.
Yeah.
Like, to take part in this prize, text Luna to 238,000. It's just like some sort of, pun on sort of the distance between the Earth and the Moon. 238,000 miles, by the way.
Yeah. What would the code be for the moon?
I don't know.
What would the plus code be?
Oh, the plus, right? Yeah, of course. The dial code. That's interesting.
It'd be like plus, like four zeros. Because it's like, it's on the moon.
I read that one of the justifications, but it was in one of the red top newspapers, was so that the astronauts can text each other when they're going around the moon. And I'm just like, what? They're sending. They should be doing stuff, probably important stuff. I don't know what they do, but they're just texting memes to each other or pictures of their knob. They can send dick pics to each other. Is that what it's for? I don't know.
Just sending.
Surely it would be like just arse pics, because then it would be I'm mooning from the moon.
Oh God! To be the first person to send a moonie from a moon.
Yeah.
There you go. Where was the rim shot there, Alex? I've got a bit of a.
You can't talk about mooning and then the rim shot.
I mean, that would have been perfect. Talking about mooning, we've got.
There we go. So, to give you an idea of how the technology works in my village, when I run comedy workshops at my village hall, I have to send people directions because Maps stops working when you get within about a mile, and then if they try and switch to Waze or Apple Maps, it then directs them to a farm that's a mile and a half away that's fuck all to do with the village. That's the first thing. If I go to the village hall, I can't get any signal to phone anybody and tell them, and they can't phone me to tell me they're lost. And then when I see adverts for like super fast broadband on the TV, if I then phone that broadband provider and say, at the moment, I've got shitty 5 meg BT, when are you doing super fast here? And they go, oh, 2028.
So
2028 is the same year that James Cameron's 4th Avatar sequel is supposed to come out.
I guess
there is a distinct possibility that there could be a data signal on the moon before there is in your village.
Yeah,
definitely. Do you think once they've got 4, do you think they're putting it on the moon so that they can use Google Maps to get to the moon? So, do you know what I mean?
Like, well, yeah, it would finally make Google Earth relevant again, wouldn't it? I suppose. So there's that. What I read as well was it's something to do with drones and robots and things like that as well. And I'm just like, but haven't we already done the moon? I'm pretty sure we've already sort of, figured this out. And I'm thinking further down the line of it becoming like a tourist destination as well, with things like this, people moaning about how peaceful the Sea of Tranquility used to be, and now it's just full of moon tourists taking their arse selfies.
I remember when this was all craters.
Yeah.
So there's a fascinating thing you can do, because obviously they've got to have it. That if they are going to have it as a tourist destination, it's got to have decent Wi-Fi. Otherwise, people will shit on it on TripAdvisor. So if you look on TripAdvisor, I like finding things that shouldn't have a review that have been reviewed by multiple people. So there are TripAdvisor reviews for bridges. Like people like, it's quite a nice bridge. It's got 3 distinct arches. The handrails aren't too high, so you get a good view of the River Trent. Is one of them. A friend of mine said they'd gone to the D-Day landing war graves in Normandy. Had a look on TripAdvisor. There are hundreds of thousands of reviews. It averages 4.9 because most people would go there and be extremely moved by the fact that they were at this place with hundreds of thousands of white crosses, memorials as far as the eye can see in every direction, and they would give it 5 stars. That's a normal human reaction to being in that place. Some people. So the complaints on the people that have marked it down are it's too windy, and all the road signs are in French.
Oh no!
Jesus. I thought of an app actually for leaving reviews, specifically for people with disabilities, to rank places based on their disabled access.
Right.
It's called TripAdvisor.
Nice. I see what you did there. Well done.
Yeah, that's a 4-year-old joke, but I don't care. I saw an opportunity to throw it in and I went with it.
Absolutely. I mean, obviously, this is the opportunity for crowbarring it in.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's just crazy to me. There's also one of the companies involved in terms of developing this technology is called Tipping Point. With no sense of irony whatsoever. Make of that what you will. There's a few. It's almost like the tipping point of technology. Why do we even need it? It's almost like if you go that far, you're just going to fall off the edge or something like that. And their only motivation for doing this is validating what they've built to see if it would work. In
fairness, that's like a lot of my DIY projects.
Yeah, all right.
The question as to why I built a trebuchet has yet to be answered satisfactorily, well, to anybody's satisfaction other than mine. Although I do have a trebuchet, so
what is one of those?
One of those medieval siege catapults.
It's
okay.
A giant slingshot for breaking down.
It's like a little one, but you can move it around on like a normal car trailer.
Okay, good.
Why do you have this?
I know.
I just want to interject. Like here, what did you? So you built this yourself, just to clarify?
Yeah.
Right. Why?
Because I had some long bits of timber, and I'd seen a documentary about trebuchets.
Okay. And you thought,
that's it. Yeah.
I mean, I've learned something. I've learned what a trebuchet is, and I kind of want to build one now.
So
it's a little one. So like the main swing arm on it's only about 3 meters long. So it's really good for throwing cabbages. And as you're aware, there are fields full of them that are going unpicked because people can't get Eastern European workers. So help yourself to some cabbages, and then you can lob them around.
Now we know what people do when they don't have good Wi-Fi and phone signal, don't we?
100%.
You've got to entertain yourself somehow.
In fairness, if there was better Wi-Fi, there would be less cabbage theft.
It's
a real problem in stately
that's
towns.
Proved. Yeah.
One of the things I've missed, well, it was frustrating at the time, but one of the things I've missed about gigging regularly in the West Country is watching your data signal just progressively get worse. Sort of the further in you go, so you'd be flying along perfectly, getting all your updates, 4G, H+, 3G, G, and it goes down to
Abacus.
E, and you just and then just presumably F for fucked after that. And it's amazing. But what I've always found strange, especially with little villages, is you could be driving along somewhere in the middle of nowhere, completely lost, driving through something that looks something out of Sleepy Hollow, something like that. You finally come through the clearing, and there's like a couple of row of houses in a village hall, and that's where the gig is. And you've got signal outside. You get into sort of civilization, into this village hall, and you get nothing. You have to go back into the forest just to get a signal. What's going on there? It's never. But there we go.
I mean, we've all left gigs. I'm sure all three of us, where you got there, but when you're leaving, you just have to drive in a general direction for about 3 hours until you get a signal, and then suddenly you know where you're going. So we've all done that, Graham. It's fine.
So I'm just scrolling through this article, right, about this NASA thing. What they've done is they've just formatted some questions and then got the person to answer them, right? And one of these questions is what are the challenges to building a network on the moon? It sounds like science fiction. How difficult will this be? I mean, I would imagine incredibly difficult. That's a ridiculous question. The main challenge is the environment. I didn't realize there was an environment in space. It's a vacuum, isn't it?
That's the point, yeah. Well, I did read that they said, well, they're not going to build it on the moon. They're going to build it first and then take it up there and just plonk it there. So that might answer the question.
Yeah, okay. So, see, that's not as impressive. I'm disappointed.
Sorry to disappoint, but that's just facts, Graham. Sorry to get facts in the way.
I was expecting some kind of, I don't know, Armageddon level, Space Cowboys level, sort of, some crack team of misfits tasked with building this infrastructure on the moon. But they're just going to build it first and then fly it up there. It's not really.
Yeah, they'll just fly it up there with Liv Tyler, and her dad will be singing, and Bruce Willis, if he's still alive, will be there, and we'll all be watching. Do you think we'll watch it like we did the moon landing?
Because it'll be like, I don't want to miss a thing. Well, now it's 4G, you won't have to.
Don't want to close my eyes. Oh, we've got to rewrite the song here live now.
Are you tired of missing things on the moon?
I don't want to miss a text. I don't know. I'm just riffing. I don't know. Throw a lyric at me.
Are you tired of your Moonies constantly buffering? It writes itself. It's genius.
It does. Now I'm quite excited about the film now. Who would play me?
Why couldn't you star in it yourself?
I could, but I'm not as famous as Liv Tyler, and her dad sings. So if my dad sang, I probably could get a part in it. Yeah,
maybe you could. You could just act as someone's double for something. Maybe
I could be a Mooney double.
Mooney, yeah, there you go. Perfect. I'd be up for that too. Actually, maybe not.
I'm just going to make a note of that. Okay.
I like the idea.
Call my agent.
In some ways, I could, going back to sort of the village thing, you could argue that at the very least, they're sort of future-proofing it. They're getting the infrastructure there first, so that if whatever development does come, I wish, because I just assumed it'd be some sort of relay for the space station, which, as it turns out, is just so they can send pictures to each other.
Which make TikToks.
Can you imagine TikToks on the moon? That would be like some sort of moon sea shanty. Well, there you go. So a sea shanty version of Don't Want to Miss a Thing, crammed in with some 4G puns. Yeah, you're right. So you need to get on this, Andy. You're the TikTok expert. I'm sure you could knock that
Totally
up.
am.
Yeah,
I could.
absolutely.
I could do it easily. I could do it right now if I wanted to. I just don't want to. But totally could. Totally be on it.
Are you into your TikToks, Nick?
Right. So I joined TikTok for a little while, and I realised that it's mostly girls dancing in tiny shorts or blokes hurting themselves.
Both of those.
Yeah. Okay. And it's very easy to just spend a day just going, okay, I'll watch that again. Okay, that's similar. Okay, that's similar. Yeah. No, that's the same thing. Okay, that's the same thing. And then a fucking day has passed, and you're like, why have I even gone to the moon to do this?
Yeah. I haven't slept for 4 weeks. I'm so just addicted to watching.
Whereas what? Do you know what? I've started reading books instead.
Oh.
I'm thinking old school.
So 1955.
Or 1984. I don't know.
God.
Going for some sort of Orwellian reference to too much technology. There you go. They're going to spy on us from the moon. Is there any conspiracy theorists out there, Alex? Anyone on the comments? Maybe kicking off about this. For some reason,
a few years ago, I was in Tesco's, and as I was paying, the person on the till said, "Have you got a club card?" And I said, "No, I don't like club cards because I don't like too many organisations having my information." And he said, "Somebody said the other day it's like Big Brother." And I was like, "Yeah." And he went, "But that's bollocks, isn't it? Because you can't get voted off club card." Yeah.
Right.
I still don't get I don't understand the why of the 4G. And then why is it 4G? Why is it not 5G?
Because they're building 5G stuff down here, so obviously they've got spare 4G stuff. So
it's the old second hand, isn't it?
It's 30 quid. It's 30 quid to go to the tip. We might as well spend a little bit more and just fire it onto the moon.
Let's have a look. Let's see what this says.
See, Adam thought the same thing as me. Why are they not putting 5G up there?
Yeah.
But I think it's right. It's they're not actually putting 4G up there. They're just dumping all the. I don't even know if 5G is just an air thing, and not like is there like a 4G mast and a 5G mast and they're different, or is it just flicking a switch? I don't know.
Or was Graham reading a really old article, and now when they get round to it, it will be 5G.
Well, in fairness, actually, the original article was back in October last year. Funny enough, around
2016.
No, but the one I'm reading was from the 4th of January this year. So
so current.
Can't it with your cynicism, Nicholas?
Ain't never gonna.
No. I would be disappointed if you did, frankly. It wouldn't be the same. It wouldn't be right. So the network is designed to self-configure upon deployment.
What does that mean? What does that even mean?
I don't know. Like you say, I assume they just shoot it into the moon and it sorts itself out by the sounds of things. Like I say, it's just a really absurd story, and I was interested by it. But apparently the contract's only worth $14 million, which doesn't seem like enough to get that done.
No.
Unless that's just the money to build the network. But then surely it would cost 3 times that just to get the rocket into space.
Who even uses a fucking Nokia nowadays anyway?
Well, I did think of that. Do they are they bigger than I'm imagining? Are they just gonna be up there playing Worm or whatever it is? I don't know. I'm not very.
Oh, Snake on the moon. There we go. Now we're talking. Now I'm interested. I'm invested in this now. Well, that's this the thing. Maybe
Advertised by Samuel L. Jackson.
Snakes on the moon. Again, who would play me?
That's amazing. What I will say though is if they go old school Nokia, I can see why NASA have picked them, because the old school Nokia phones are indestructible to the extent that if there's some sort of extinction level event, say like an asteroid hits the moon, catastrophically destroying all life on Earth, all that would be left would be a Nokia 3310, which would be. Never mind.
That's the point. To the 3310, they could charge it up at Cape Canaveral, and it would still have 2/3 of the battery left when it got to the moon.
Exactly, it's perfect. That must be why they picked them. It's the only thing I could think of.
That's what it is. Battery life. That's the answer.
I don't get it.
And that's probably why it only costs 14 million, because those phones probably are expensive to make.
Because they bought all the handsets off Magpie.
Yeah, exactly.
They've gone down CEX.
I think we've solved it. I think that's it. That's got to be the answer, isn't it? Let's see. I'll have a look. See what else have we got. A lot of it is just. That's what's Adam saying. Can we start a phone network called Trebuchet and all the emojis are vegetable related? Perfect. Yes, let's do that.
Nice.
Maybe they could use Nick's trebuchet to get it up to the moon. Do you reckon
It's not that powerful. I'm now wondering how far it would fire a 3310 though.
Yeah, that would be a video for TikTok. Some of the kids wouldn't understand what was happening because they wouldn't even recognize what the phone that would be worth doing. That would get some hits.
That could be Nick's thing. Nick, this is your thing. So your TikTok account from now is you firing different things from 1995 and before in a trebuchet just to see how far they go. And people could tell you what they want you to fire, and they
weird Amish kind of a thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's
you
like
could do
an old school strength test. Like, will this 3310 survive being flinged in a trebuchet? It's perfect.
Yeah,
that's cool. All right, how far we can fire different bits of 1990s tech?
Yeah, or even people. Even can people fit in it?
Not on this one. So there's a big one at Warwick Castle that you can hire for a day, but you have to sign something saying you won't put anybody in it.
Yeah, we'll just sign it. We could sign it, and then afterwards we're like, oh, we didn't read that bit. And we could put all kinds of people from the 80s in it and the 90s.
You could fashion some kind of harness.
Pat Sharp. Yeah, but his hair, wind resistance, he wouldn't go very far.
But he'd be very accurate because it would act like the flights on an arrow.
Yes.
So I just want to try something. If you were a representative from Nokia right now, and you're asked this question, put this deal into context. Is this a groundbreaking project for Nokia? I wonder who this journalist is, because they sound like a moron. It just seems like really basic questions. Why do we need a cellular network on the moon? What difference will it make? That's probably they should have led with that one.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to ask. Sorry, am I the representative from Nokia?
Yes, go for it. Why not?
Okay. Sometimes you have to ask yourself not why you are doing a thing, but why you are not doing a thing. I'm assuming that he's slightly Scandinavian and doesn't object to casual racism. Is that all right?
Yeah, perfect.
I think so.
I'm just going to read this answer, right? So why do we need a cellular network on the moon? What difference will it make? There is two parts to this. If we look at space in general, there is an absolutely massive increase in the interest of space exploration. Also, there isn't enough of this out there. Of course there isn't. This is why I don't understand what that means. I
think it increases the chance of alien invasion as well. Because previously, aliens rock up, they get to outer space, and they're just we'll go home because there's shit reception. And now
we run out of
fuck it, we can invade.
Got fucking 4G here, mate.
Exactly.
into a spaceship and just sending it off into the galaxy somewhere. Maybe that's what
Alien TikTok, which is like TikTok but with an apostrophe after each of the T's. Because we know that's how alien languages work. TikTok, yeah. Or in Klingon, TikTok. They're all up in that.
There you go. Yeah. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's one for the conspiracy theorists. It's got nothing to do with the space station and better communications. It's trying to communicate with the aliens that are obviously out there.
Well, I'm just thinking of the CEO at Nokia when he's like, "We got the contract to put mobile phones on the moon," and they'd all, "Yeah, how much did we get?" And he goes, £12 million, and they're like, "What?" Surely you'd be thinking it's a 12 billion.
I do quite a lot of corporate gigs, and I've been with a lot of organisations where they have done a lot of coke and had some shit ideas. And I think sometimes you've just got to go with the idea rather than admit you just had a shitload of coke and then talked yourself into it.
It's so cheap. You know when something's cheap, it's...
It sounds like NASA are trying to go for some sort of Adam and Eve thing here. We have almost monthly launches now. NASA wants to place the next man and the first woman on the moon in 2024, and they will need to communicate with each other.
What? Why won't they be next to each other?
Yeah, it's you would assume their space suits are connected, right?
Won't they be in the same sort of moon caravan?
Yeah, exactly.
Which reminds me, do you ever get those people knocking on your door trying to sell you an aerial photograph of your house?
Yes.
No,
I've
never had that.
Okay, so you've had that. So, and clearly what they've done is they just go onto Google Earth and then they just print out for like a village or something. For 5 days in the last 8 years, there was a caravan parked outside my house, and that was the photo they chose. So I was like, no, I'm not having it because there's a caravan there and I don't want people to think I'm a caravaner.
I'm really sorry I parked outside your house, Nick. But,
it wasn't. It was that horrible. You must remember because it was. Do you remember that year you came to Witchwood Festival and I had that shitty caravan that I bought for £1?
I kind of liked it.
Well, but it was. I mean, it was a pound's worth of caravan.
It was, yeah.
I didn't even know that was possible.
One end of it was held on with expansion foam, Graham.
Amazing. Yeah.
But it was very handy for people like to be like a base for all the comics that were at the festival for the weekend.
It was. Yeah.
It sounds like my friend.
And also, I quite liked sleeping in the tiny caravan because I could reach all the parts of it without getting out of bed. So I could put on the stove and make a cup of tea without getting out of bed. It was great.
Yeah, that's my point. You can go to the loo whilst cooking dinner when you live in a caravan. It's brilliant. You can reach everything.
It doesn't mean you have to.
I know, but you should.
And I think that is the motto of 4G on the moon. Just because you can, it doesn't mean you have to.
Absolutely.
See how we walk around.
You're actually a closet caravaner by the sounds of things there. I think you've got a secret love for caravans by the sounds of things, but you've presented it in your usual no, it's shit, I don't want it kind of way. But it actually sounded almost positive there for a minute.
No, his caravan, the caravan he was in was shit. Let's just get that straight.
Okay. It absolutely was.
Yeah, I'm not offending him.
However, as I said, I bought it for £1. Okay.
Yeah.
When I was going to go pick it up, basically because it was in somebody's way, they'd moved house and it had been abandoned by the people who lived there before. So I thought I'll have it for a week. On my way to get it, when I was putting petrol in the car, there was a £1 coin on the forecourt, and I got a scratch card and won £100 with that scratch card. So the caravan made me £100. Then when I was cleaning it up outside my house, one of my neighbours who does like fences said, "Why have you got that shitty caravan?" And I said, "I've just got it for this festival." And he said, "What are you going to do with it afterwards?" I said, I don't know. I'll stick it on eBay or Facebook Marketplace or something and get rid of it. And he said, "I'll tell you what, I'll give you £50 if I can borrow it for a couple of weeks to stick down at a job site and just like store materials in. And I was like, yep, that's absolutely brilliant. So he had it for a couple of weeks. So the caravan made me 150 quid. And then one of my other neighbours bought it off me for 50 quid to park up in a wood and use as like a playroom for his kids. But in the end, he couldn't because it smelt too much of creosote because of Ed and all his fencing shit.
I think I'm going to take a little recording of that little financial masterclass there, and maybe just send it to NASA and say this is the guy you want managing the project.
Yeah.
I think you'd be
send it to whoever you want, but not HMRC. All right.
Yeah,
yeah. I was just wondering if you'd declared it, but fine.
I'm just going to check in with Alex.
You don't have to declare it if you spend that money on drugs, Sandy. So
yeah, I wasn't going to mention that bit of the weekend.
A tip that you taught me many years ago, Nick, and I've followed it to the letter. No, I'm kidding. Oh, here he is. There we go.
Hello. Just talking of drugs and old phones. Did you know that drug dealers have driven up the price of second-hand Nokias from like the early 2000s? Seriously,
I did because
because if you go looking for like 3310s on eBay, they're really holding like decent value because there's no GPS on them, so they can't be traced.
Oh,
yeah.
We get a lot of them in the phone shop. This particular one is called an IMO Dash. Never heard of IMO, but we sell it. It's an actual phone. It's just an old style button phone. It's $6.99.
What?
Yeah.
Stop.
No GPS or anything.
No, it doesn't even have an FM radio in it.
Wow.
Oh. I know that when I was in Edinburgh, one of the phone shops there was selling the really, really tiny, like the smallest mobile phone, and it has no detectable metal in it. And the phone shop is right by the bus that goes to Barlini prison. So that is a phone that is specifically designed to go up your arse.
Amazing.
Who doesn't want one of those? We're back to mooning on the moon.
I'm just curious to find out if we've had any experts on, Alex, that have got any opinions on this story.
Literally, the only comment since the last one I put up is Adam Money just liking the idea of cabbages landing on the moon. and that is it. So no experts. That's all to report for now.
That's a shame.
But there you go. So Adam, if the aliens did find the cabbage, at least they would be able to phone somebody about it. Oh my God, it would be an ET-based advert, wouldn't it? Phone home. Now you can.
Oh,
on the moon.
We've got like 18 months worth of ad campaigns here now with all these different. We might as well just pinch Snoop Dogg from Just Eat and just get him involved as well. At this point.
I think he would.
Yeah, he absolutely would. He got like $20 million for the Just Eat campaign. It's crazy.
But apparently, so that campaign has been used worldwide, but Just Eat isn't called Just Eat in lots of other countries. So it's did somebody say, and then they've just dubbed in the name of whatever the thing is, the equivalent is.
Right.
So like in Australia, it's called Menulon.
Oh, that fits well.
Yeah. Did somebody say Menulon? Yeah.
Oh God. Well, I mean, do you know what? Snoop Dogg's far richer than I am, so yeah.
Someone was telling me he'd done like a personal appearance at a couple of clubs, which are also comedy clubs, and for each one he had to be paid in cash, and it was like 15 grand per personal appearance, which they had to get in cash, and also they had to duct tape plastic cups over all the smoke detectors, because obviously they smoked a lot of weed backstage.
Yeah, I can imagine. There's have you seen these sites? They're like Memo and things like that. They're these ones where you can get like personalized messages from celebrities and former and people that you've never heard of that range from like £5 all the way up to whatever. Snoop Dogg's is like $775. It's it's like a 20-second message, and you can't even tell him what to say. He just goes, this is Snoop Dogg, like, what up, my G, kind of thing, or something like that. I'm glad I didn't try and do an accent, because that would have sounded worse.
I've just brought up what Just Eat is called around the world. So it's menu log in Australia and New Zealand. In Austria, it's called Liferando. Did somebody say Liferando? In Canada, it's called Skip the Dishes.
Well, that makes sense, but it still doesn't fit, does it? Did somebody just say skip the dishes? It doesn't work.
Did somebody say skip the dishes?
But like, you still have clearing up to do, because you've still got to get rid of all of it. So that's kind of.
You've only got to throw it in the bloody bin, Graham. What's the matter with you?
And in Vietnam, it's called Vietnam Nom Nom.
Hey, it's not. Shut up. It's not.
I'm gonna. Alex, could you verify this and put it up on the screen?
On it.
Oh, I really want it to be Vietnam Nom Nom.
I'm quite happy to just sit here and wait for this to be revealed.
Revealed as a lie, unfortunately.
No,
come on. Oh, so disappointed. But fair play, you got both of us there. I think I was
there you go.
hook, line, and sinker. I was believing. Never mind, Alex. You don't have to do it. It was all a moon-faced lie.
All a lie.
All right, I've actually found a band on YouTube called Vietnam, so I'm going to go and check that.
Vietnam.
Right, there you go. Right, I'm going to do one more question of the best interview ever, and then let's have a look. What should we go? That's too long. That's that's with that. I should have done this in some kind of order, really, shouldn't I? It's like I don't even bother writing a show.
It's like you haven't even prepared, isn't it? I like the kind of improv style you're going for.
Unfortunately, I've got to disappear as well. I am sorry.
Oh, that's okay. I mean, we're going to wrap up soon anyway. But it would just be me and Sandy for the last 5 minutes. That's all right. Or maybe Alex can jump in and fill the gap.
Have a lovely time. Thank you for having me, and thank you for your comments. People who have commented. I shall see you on the moon.
Nice to see you.
I'm going to fill the void left by Nick.
Yeah.
Well, you are an award-winning comedian, aren't you, Alex?
Yes. That award was helped by a massively poor standard from all the other acts. It still counts, though. Still counts.
You were very, very funny.
Thank you.
Every answer in this interview starts with, "Well, there are two parts to this." And I'm just like, is this guy just full of it? I'm just one.
So who was it being interviewed?
Somebody called Klein, who I think is the head of.
No, I wasn't. I didn't need their name really, although.
Oh, the head of Enterprise and Industrial Automation Research Lab at Nokia. I'm sure they could shorten that.
That sounds like one of those really long-winded names made up for comedy, where like the acronym is a rude word. You know what I mean?
Yes. Is it, Graham? Look at it. Is it a?
No.
Oh, no. I was hoping that the acronym was clitoris or something like that.
Yes.
It spells out here, Head Enterprise Automation Research.
Scandinavian humour for you.
They've got. I've missed out industrial there as well, so it doesn't spell that at all.
Okay.
There's creative license, and then there's tagging the piss.
I think as well, you can't expect the person who agreed to put something on the moon for £14 million to come up with any reasonable answers. It's an intern.
So
it's a drunk intern.
Let's put yourself into the position of head of whatever that was, Enterprise Industrial Automation Research Lab at Nokia, Sandy Smith. What do you hope? This is a genuine question. What do you hope to achieve through this project?
Of putting mobile signal on the moon?
Yeah.
Well, obviously, what we want to do is we're going to move all the people from Spain who are currently expats up to the moon, take it over, and they won't go up there unless we've got Wi-Fi. So it's to get rid of. I just thought, is it to get rid of? Because Trump hasn't got his. I'm sorry to bring it back to politics because I'm a very political person, but he's just not. He's just lost his Twitter, hasn't he?
Yes.
They're sending him to the moon, and he wouldn't go unless there was a mobile signal up there.
Oh God, can you imagine getting trolled by Donald Trump from the moon?
If they told him that that's probably the only territory where Parler's not been banned. So, so if they tell him that,
get those cabbages out, Nick.
That's amazing.
Oh, no, right. There's a clip on its own.
It makes sense, doesn't it? They're going to send Trump to the moon.
To make sure Nick follows through with this firing 90s tech from a trebuchet thing, because I think that's got some legs. I think that's funny. But yes,
that's a TikTok account I'd follow.
Absolutely.
Not a 90s Nokia, because they're going for about £100 on eBay.
That's crazy.
So yeah,
like proper 3210s stuff.
Yeah. Like that's there's certain makes which are like the drug dealer's make of choice.
Oh, there you go. There's some consumer advice for the humble drug dealer on Boozer 10. You're welcome. Let's hear it for the box.
Hey, damn it! I'm on the wrong page.
Cool.
I still love that joke.
All right. Cool. Well, that's it. With that, that's pretty much everything I wanted to cover. So, thank you very much, Sandy. Thank you to Nick Page. Cheers, Alex. Thank you to everyone that's watched. Is there anything you'd like to plug, Sandy, before we go?
Don't be ridiculous. There's nothing happening.
She's trapped in Essex. Can't do a thing.
Do follow me on the socials, everyone, because I'm lonely and I don't have enough followers.
I am a big fan of your TikTok. So I don't have TikTok, but I watch it on your Instagram Reels thing.
Yeah,
which I assume
I spam everyone.
That's all linked together, right?
It can be. Can be if you want it to be, Graham.
You're considerably more clever at that stuff than I am. I absolutely hope.
I mean, clever is a word I wouldn't use about myself, but yeah,
okay. Proficient then at that particular app.
More needy for appreciation is what it is, Graham. That's what it is.
All right. So next week, it's the 3rd of February is the next episode. It'll be my birthday special. So we've got a because I'm turning 29 for the 3rd time. Yeah, all right. We'll be having a massive list of guests on, including Alex Lean. We'll be popping it. Well, you can just stay there. You can stay in the corner.
Thanks. No one puts me in a corner.
Just don't forget the rim shot next time. Like, it was a real missed
opportunity. I didn't update it. I didn't update it with the new graphics. I've updated everything else.
Fair enough. All right. Okay, fine. I'll let you off. So Alex Lean, Adam Money, Scott Adams, Joey Cannon, if he's around, he hasn't replied to the message, and Harry Waddington Brown. So it's going to be pretty hectic. And look at
they're all invited to your birthday then, Graham.
Yes.
Not me.
Yes.
I'm not.
I've got this sink. I've heard the guest list. I've got this horrible sinking feeling now.
It's probably not a good idea to broadcast it, but never mind. We're going to do it anyway. So that'll be same time again, 10 o'clock on Wednesday. Please give a like and subscribe to the Provocateur Comedy YouTube channel. If you don't feel like donating to the PayPal link, which is popping up now. Now, there it is. Yes. I've noticed that Ian isn't watching, so we probably won't get any donations tonight. But there we go.
You've bloody dry.
Must have run out of money by now.
I've just thought as well, in the end credits, there's going to be 2 people in the end credits that's not actually on screen anymore. So everyone just believe that you've seen them and it'll be fine.
Yeah, there you go.
If you just clap your hands.
Thank you very much for watching. I've missed my 45-minute target by 5 minutes, but never mind. It doesn't matter. Take care. See you again soon. Thank you very much for watching. Please drink sensibly. Good night. Thank you. Bye.